Hello, and welcome to Morning Call for Tuesday, the 26th of March, 2019. Today is an auspicious day. Suspicious day? What day is it? Today's the day where the internet might go broke. Because, yes, good morning. Good morning, 7 of 9. Full Elbsegler today, yes. Today's the copyright reform voting. They're voting, or they're debating it right now. We will switch live to the EU Parliament there in a second. But first off, it really is an auspicious day. I was woken up this morning by my wife going, I got some bad news. The internet is broken. And in my sleep-addled brain, I was going like, what? Article 13, Article 17, whatever it's called. It's like, oh my God, it's happened. I live in the future. It's all gone. But it turned out there was Telecom had a internet fault at my location in Hamburg, which is the first time in about 2 years, almost 2 years now that this happened. So I can't really complain. But I was like, okay, that's the day for me. I can take the time off now. But it came back. But not before it hit Spiegel Online. Thanks. Thanks 7 of 9 there for this posting this in our Discord. Amazing bit of Spiegel Online ad hoc hacking there. Well done. No, he didn't. In case you're from the police, he didn't hack Spiegel Online. Some advanced photoshopping skills. The EU Parliament. Our first news, of course, today, even bigger than Apple. The EU Parliament, as I am recording this or streaming this live, depending on what consumption method you're using, is debating. Oh look, it's Bernd Lucke right now. Well, that's something we don't need from the European Conservative and Racist Group. Sorry. Yeah, they are debating the thing right now, and they will vote in a little bit, and then we will know if our internet is fucked or if it's if I can sirens in the distance. Yeah, there's already dispatched an SEK team to 709's location. Oh my God, I don't know. Are they destroying our internet? Will I be able to do this here in the future? Or will I not be able to use any graphics that even remotely look like Star Trek LCAS because of filters or something? This is not good. You will know what I'm talking about by now. I'm just mesmerized by what's going on there. Of course, you will know that the EU copyright reform, hotly debated, is happening there, and we don't. I mean, there's some interesting stuff that came out about this, like the FAZ, one of Germany's biggest daily newspapers, has yesterday published a story where it looks like the conservatives, the CDU, the economics minister, Peter Altmaier, has it's kind of alleged that he sold like the startups, like, people actually use the internet off, and said basically if France agrees to this Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which we really need because we need the gas from the Russians, otherwise the lights go out, then we will agree to this copyright thing, which I guess was very important to France because France hates Google or something. They just generally hate computers and the internet. At least that's the prejudice, isn't it? I don't know. It looks like they basically coupled these two pieces of legislation together, and now the internet is fucked because we need gas. Bad stuff. Heise, in a very interesting move, something my former colleagues at Heise, I can tell you, do often, published a statement yesterday, a story from the lawyer at Heise, basically saying why the editorial newsroom opposes Article 17, formerly Article 13. Very nicely worded, and I mean, if this is Germany's biggest tech portal, these are the people who know. I've worked there, and I know they know what's going on. They know how this stuff works. If members of the European Parliament are, but the reform will strengthen Google, says several of them. Of course it will. Because we will need upload filters, and guess who's the only company who's even remotely has the means to do this? Yeah, it will. People are dumb, which is basically what Heise says as well here. They don't say that, but it becomes clear. If you're a member of the European Parliament and you're not listening to this, basically, we can't help you. I mean, if you don't want to listen to the people who know what's going on, it's all fucked. Well, we'll see. I'll report on this tomorrow exactly how fucked we are. I don't think they will get through the votings during this show, but I'll have a look at the end. We have some news from Apple. Apple, of course, chose this bad time for the internet to announce their new things they're working on. It's pretty much as rumored. Apple TV Plus is a streaming service which will come in fall or autumn, depending on where you are, to over 100 countries, as was rumored, with their own TV shows and stuff. But the Apple TV app also going to be on the Fire TV stick, which I guess marks a new truce between Apple and Amazon there. I don't know, on the Roku and on smart TVs from Samsung, LG, Sony, and Vizio. So the first time that this Apple TV app, I guess, is not really coupled to app. I keep saying coupled. What's wrong with me? I'm too German. 709 says the vote is expected at 12:30 CET. CET is the time we currently have, isn't it? Yeah. I'll report on this tomorrow then. I might start the show with just like a black screen if we're all doomed, or just do memes like for the rest of until the filters go up. Just meme the fuck out of everything. So looks like for the first time they decoupled basically the Apple TV software from Apple hardware, which I guess is interesting. They're also going to have some other streaming services on there, but crucially not Netflix. So I saw a good, actually not one, several good comments on this, and opinion pieces, articles that basically the golden era for streaming is over. It's an interesting time for Apple to go in there because now all the studios are doing their own streaming service. I guess Apple's deal is like we're not a streaming service. We're just like a platform. We got TVs in everybody's pockets, and we'll just do deals with everybody. That might work because I think, Netflix and Amazon are in a much harder position if everybody does their own streaming stuff. And we as consumers, we're fucked. We had this thing where you needed 2 streaming services, and you could, at first you only need 1, now you need 2 to get everything that's interesting. Those times are over, I guess, which makes me sad. And I guess that'll bring, speaking of copyright, that'll just bring piracy back, won't it? 709 says barricade your door, post memes until the police break through. Yes, in a live stream. Exactly, in a live stream. We'll do that. We'll do the meme revolution. Seize the means of meme production. Apple has also announced, as was also expected, Apple News Plus. Oh, look on the picture there on the left. That I guess that's the Esquire magazine with the Springsteen cover. Oh, that's a nice touch. Pictures from the keynote here. Yeah, it's basically I read a very interesting story about this today on Nieman Lab by Joshua Benton. I think he used to write for The Verge, didn't he? I don't know. Does it say? Can I look this up? Let's see. Anyway, he was writing about. No, he's at Nieman Lab at Harvard, so I don't know. Anyway, he wrote a very interesting story about basically. I mean, this is Texture, which is an app. Several big. It was like the Hulu for magazines. It's like several big U.S. magazine publishers made so they could keep control of their content. And now a while ago, I have then sold to Apple. So Apple's now using that, which explains why it is so magazine focused, like very magazine focused, and there's actually not that much actual like news content. I think they have the New York Times and the Washington Post, but not all of their stuff, and none of the online stuff, as far as anybody can tell, which is weird. It's a bit anachronistic. But they're integrating that, or they have integrated that into the Apple News thing, and now you can get all these magazines, 300 content from 300 magazines. But it's not like Blender, where you have like, you get single stories. It's like you get the whole magazine, I guess. And the thing is, I don't know who wants content from 300 magazines. I mean, you want those few magazines that you want, and if they're in there, that's good. And if not, then it doesn't change anything, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit underwhelmed by this, as pretty much everybody in the news industry, I guess. And then Apple announced a third thing, which is the Apple Card, which is a credit card that's only coming to the US. It'll probably be years till it comes to Europe, I'm guessing. It's like integrated with their wallet app. It doesn't have a credit card number on it and no security code on the back, so you only get that from the app, which is pretty cool. But there's several modern like startups that do credit cards that work like this. Except with like I've got a credit card, one of those. Like it doesn't have my name on it, for example, but it does have a number. I guess I don't know how that would work without the number. I think a lot of people would get confused by that, especially in the US, where there's still places where they like do the metal slide thing over the embossed numbers. I mean, over here, people are even confused with my credit card that doesn't have my name on it, so I'm not quite sure. It's a MasterCard card. It'll be tightly integrated, no costs. You get a little bit of kickback if you spend money. You get like Apple currency, like Apple money. You can spend on Apple things, like in the App Store, I guess, and stuff. So. Yeah, it's I mean, it's about time they did this, right? And if you spend your money with the Apple credit card to buy all the Apple stuff, then they own the complete ecosystem, which I guess is the thing they want. It's actually, if you need a credit card, it looks like it's not a bad deal, some nice security features, some nice modern features, no fees and stuff like that. But anything they announced on that. Sorry. Man, my voice is going. Anything they announced at that presentation it's like all reactionary shit, isn't it? It's like it's new stuff. Jonathan MH says their own currency. Yeah, true. which I guess will be cryptocurrency, right? That's the next step. I think you're right. And then in some more normal news, the Ethiopian Airlines head of Ethiopian Airlines has confirmed that that software they're suspecting, that MCAS on the 737 MAX 8 that crashed, was in use, and looks like that's actually what happened. Meanwhile, American Airlines canceling 90 flights a day. So I guess this is expensive not only for Boeing with people canceling their orders, but also the airlines who have lots of MAX 8s where they can't, the planes are grounded and now they have to cancel flights. It's pretty. This is getting really bad for Boeing. I mean, this. I wasn't even like when that second plane crashed. That didn't click for me. But it's like obviously like 2 crashes of the same plane in such a short time. It's really bad for the manufacturer and everything connected. So yeah, that's bad. Another bad news. Kaspersky is reporting that somebody hacked Asus update delivery method for their notebooks. So apparently somebody hacked into their servers and hosted a Trojanized firmware update on their update service. It was signed by Asus certificates. It even had the same length, like exactly the same file length as the legit update. And so Kaspersky is saying it infected roughly 1 million Asus built PCs. But it was designed to spy on roughly 600, they're saying. So it's it's malware that Kaspersky earlier has called Shadow Hammer. And yeah, it's that is pretty bad. I mean, this is some really, Trojanizing update systems. Is like we saw that first with NotPetya and Medoc in Ukraine, and it's now the newest shit. I mean, that's really hard to defend against. Of course, it's also pretty hard to do. So this must have been some pretty sophisticated attackers. And they were hosting this on legitimate servers, Kaspersky says. Wow. So we don't really know, like, they're not really saying who was attacked and why. But I don't know. That's the story. That's the story I'm waiting to be told, to be sure. I got some more gaming news. Basically everything in Europe, all the tech news are totally overshadowed by that copyright debate right now. But there's still some news. Apparently Nintendo is planning 2 new Switch consoles. One will be pretty similar to the current Switch, just it's rumored just having faster hardware. No new features, but basically just giving you 4K resolution and better frame rates. And basically like the PlayStation Pro or the Xbox One X, like those premium versions, like Nintendo's version of that. And then there is another one, like a more mobile one. We don't know if that's it's going to be cheaper and just like a handheld. So it's not going to have the function where the Switch is like a mobile thing where you can pop, like if you haven't seen one, which I guess you who hasn't, but still it's like a little console, and you can pop those controllers on the side out, then put it in a dock, pop those little things on a big controller and play it on your TV. And this is going to be like a cheaper version. I guess that's only mobile, where you can't pop those controllers on the side out. And it's probably gonna, this is on Golem, they're speculating it's gonna replace the 3DS, which is it's getting a bit old. And they have this video here again with Link's Awakening on the Switch. Oh my god. The remake they're doing of my favorite Game Boy game. Oh my god. I so want this. Why is this only the Game Boy version? They haven't even shown the... Anyway. I want this. I'm just close from buying a Switch. Speaking of games, at GDC there was like a Command & Conquer postmortem. Command & Conquer being one of my favorite games, probably my favorite games. And a while ago I've discovered that the soundtracks are on Spotify, and I've been listening to them. And they were having like this postmortem, and it started like with a soundbite from like the installer. And then apparently Frank Klepacki went on stage with the guitar and live played parts of the Command & Conquer soundtrack. Pretty rad looking guitar as well. It's fucking ugly, but it's futuristic. It kind of fits. I love that. I love those themes. I love those music. It's just like, it's very 90s, like industrial kind of stuff, but it's great. And I mean, this is cool. I like that they were talking about, how Command & Conquer came about and stuff. And they're also, they're remastering it, all of them. So I guess that's why they were at GDC. But oh my god, I mean, that's another thing. I'm really happy about remastered Command & Conquer. I guess all the old games, like people were talking about this in the Discord. I guess all the old games are basically, shareware now. But I mean, how cool is like remastered Command & Conquer? That's pretty amazing. Let's see. That's all the stories we have right now in the EU Parliament. They are still talking. Why do they need to talk so much? Just vote no on this shit. Oh, wow, that was. Can I? That's pretty empty. Again, they're all not turning up. Where was that? I'm trying to pause on that shot to see how full the assembly is. Come on. Show me that shot again. It's always bad. Like, these things are always depressingly few people on there. Come on, show me a shot of the assembly. Oh, that guy looked like a steampunk professor dude. Anyway, yeah, still talking. So I've got one last story here. Just let's do what the fuck. A bit of a security story. You might have heard about the PewDiePie war that's going on with like those Indian YouTubers, and there was like malware on printers where it like printed out, subscribe to PewDiePie, and then there was of course routers who redirected people, I guess, to a website which said subscribe to PewDiePie. And what is the next step on this? Of course, ransomware. There's now ransomware where you have to subscribe to the channel, I guess. I don't know how they prove this, but yeah, I guess there's now cookie warning. Great, yes, another great innovation from the EU. Yeah, I guess that's the next step. That's how you get your YouTube numbers up. I better get cracking writing some malware. Yeah, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news, and crucially with some news if the internet still exists. And I hope this all goes well in a bit, and I hope you have a good day nonetheless, even if we all have to go into the underground and fight the meme wars from now on. See you tomorrow. Until then, pray for the internet.